what's up, guys? Tastosis here, and we are actually, yes, thank you. I appreciate that. We are in the middle of a game right now. sLivko against elfi. Been a PvZ. Pretty epic so far. We're going to go ahead and throw that up on screen for you and kind of catch you guys up today. Artosis, what do they need to know?
Well, in game number 1, we did see sLivko get to about 180 supply in a standard ZVP style on Daybreak. And elfi hit the 3 Immortal, like 10-ish Century timing push around then, and actually just demolished the entire army of sLivko. So sLivko did lose game number 1. elfi hit a very sharp 2-base all-in and just cleaned him up. So here, we're jumping right into game number 2. And this is pretty standard elfi for this matchup. You know, he's going for some Phoenixes, he's going up to Colossi, and just doing some harassment while taking that 3rd base.
Yeah, just some standard Phoenix openings here. He is going to try to take the 3rd base over here in the bottom left while making sure the Phoenixes are keeping the Zerg fairly occupied. So far, sLivko, not the best creep spread here, but we're still pretty early on. There's some fungal growth on these Phoenixes. If he gets a few more fungals up, it could be pretty troubling. Trying to pick up some infestors. Now 3 fungals here. And
that's a lot of queens.
That's a lot of queens, but that's also a lot of Phoenixes that were picked off there. So
that's right.
He doesn't really have that Phoenix staple to keep him inside the base.
You know what's really interesting here is how quickly this hive is coming this game. You don't really see this quick of a hive a lot of the time, but he's decided that, okay, you know what, Hive Tech is going to be a really good choice here. But the Spire's a little bit late. I don't think there's any reason for him to go Ultra, obviously. He already has Immortals out. He has just a completely fine composition against Ultra. So this looks like it has to be Broodlord, but the Spire not really lining up with the Hive. So could be a little bit tough for sLivko to get to exactly the tech he wants before elfi hits.
Do you feel like he's a little bit off rhythm here?
I do feel like that, and I think that's, you know, that's what elfi does to you. He throws you a bit off rhythm.
You know, it's kind of funny because Phoenix is going to do that to you as well. He just can throw you off so much. We have the Observer over here now scouting that new 4th base. Although sLivko at 160 supply to the 118 here of elfi. So sLivko does have a substantial amount of units out. Creep spread over here, though, not that good. Only real rate for the Zerg to engage will be down this path over here. So I assume elfi's going to avoid that, although, as you said, Artosis, elfi a fairly unpredictable player.
That's right. Well, we do have the Fleet Beacon on the way for elfi right now. You know, if he doesn't kill you with 2-base timing, he just wants to vortex everything, throw a bunch of Archons in there, Tasteless.
So he is basically waiting for the mothership. Like the previous game, he's going to turtle it out, he's going to max out, and he's banking on the fact that the Zerg is going to try to get Broodlords here. But as I say that, kind of odd, he's going for that while attacking, unusual.
No, it's a small little army that he's out there with. He's got to be really careful, because if sLivko kills something like this off, then elfi's not going to be able to replace it.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, we talk about this sometimes, Artosis, where we see somebody doing 2 things at once. Well, I think that's what we just saw here.
Yeah.
Now the question is, can he actually hold up an attack over here?
The Lings alone might be enough. Some great fungal growths going up. The Roach is coming up as well. The Colossi actually doing a great job, but is there enough? Yeah, he takes it all down. And in the meantime, we do have a Warp Prism in the main base. Zealots going in, but it looks like the important tech isn't even here.
Yeah, and he's going to go up here and try to save the main. And this is really bad news here for sLivko for the time being, but he's going to clean this up, no problem. And as these Zealots are cleaned up, let's touch back on what we were talking about with elfi. You cannot, where's that Fleet Beacon? It was somewhere in the main.
There it is. There it is. It looks like a sentry, but it's a building.
There it is. It looks like a big sentry. Thank you, Artosis.
Yeah.
You can't get a Fleet Beacon, tech to mothership, and attack at the same time. So if I'm Protoss, I'm going to say, you know what? I'll give you a free Nexus if I can actually just kill your entire army up. That's fine with me. And that's exactly what happened to elfi. And now I feel like elfi in a really bad position here. Right now, if I was sLivko, I'd just take this base over here.
Yeah, well, we will see, man. He is running around. We do have another Warp Prism coming in. Can he get some damage done with these Zealots? Immediate targeting of that Warp Prism with the 2 Queens. Good job here. And he does want to take that out if he can. Looks like he will not be able
here.
to.
Just doesn't want to lose any Queens, it looks like. Fungal with the Queens here. Actually, not even fungal. No fungal necessary, folks. He goes and takes that out.
Well, we do have Broodlords on the way now, Tasteless. They're just now popping out, but he lost all of his expensive gas units. You know, he lost the Immortals, the Sentries, and the Colossi, so he's trying to replace those and have units that pair well with Mothership, which is just not working out well for him. He's just making a few Archons here and there, so Losing that one army for elfi, I think, was worse than killing the base that he killed for sLivko.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. So, now we got a Zerg that's almost maxed out with a Protoss. He lost the 2 Colossi. He lost the sentries there, too. In fact, let me check the unit count here. There's not even a sentry out right now. Not that force fields are the most impactful thing, but still, it's not.
Well, you want to have, at least a sentry with your army, if for nothing else than Guardian Shield. But
yeah,
I feel like sLivko is going to get to this scary, scary army that he's so good with. Just a lot of Broodlords, some Infestors, and whatever Corruptor count he really needs. Because when he gets there, it's so hard to kill him. Elfi's really going to have to rely on his mothership.
All right, he's dropping out now. No way in hell is this going to work. He's got to pick up and leave one Zealot taken out. Now, I got to be critical here, sLivko. The creep spread here is very lackluster. It seems to have only been pointed this way. No, in the entire left half of the map, there's really no creep there at all, and there's really no excuse for that. Granted, that was probably pretty jarring, having that third base taken out. This is his moment to take the map. Now it's almost too late. He's going to end up moving out here with this army of elfi's. Now, elfi's army is essentially weaker than sLivko's, but all he has to do is get one Vortex off on all of these Broodlords, as we've seen a lot in this tournament. Then you send the Archons inside the Vortex with the Broodlords. The flying units are stacked up because that's the way the animation works. Archons do splash damage. They hit all the Broodlords at once. Everything dies.
Yeah, exactly, Tasteless. And we'll see if he can get that done. I love that he's taking the 4th base right now, setting up some defensive cannons as well, and just kind of stabilizing. That's what he needs to do. But look at this. The Warp Prism finally coming in useful, going after this hatchery of sLivko. He really does need that 5th base.
All right, Link's coming in here now, taking out these Zealots. And we'll see. It looks like not too impactful there. Did damage the hatch, but that's going to heal over time. Well, Zerg's going to enter the hard part of this game, because after you take this, where the hell are you going to expand? Are you going to expand over here? Not very likely. You could put a pylon, right around here and just warp stuff in from there. There's so many things you could do. So I'm going to say right now, I think he's going to have to, win this battle up here and then take out the 4th, or he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Well, let's see. It's all going to come down to, do Vortexes actually get off? We do have Neural Parasite here for our Zerg player. As we saw in elfi's last series, he sometimes does get that knurled mothership. Can sLivko actually do that, though? Very similar in supply, these two are.
A little intense here. Oh. Is he going to get it? Oh, my God. How could elfi be so irresponsible?
And oh, wow. I'm really surprised he didn't knurl that.
I know.
Incredibly surprised he did not neural parasite that.
You got to say, I'm a little bit shocked to see elfi with the mothership actually lagging behind like that.
Yeah, he just got off scot-free. He could have knurled that, brought it back, killed it so simply.
And then from there, possibly push it to this base, or with the Broodlords.
Yeah, I mean, once you don't have the mothership, with this many Infestors and Broodlords, you can push in there, fungal all the Stalkers and Archons, and just go to town. That was a big mistake by sLivko. I think he thought that elfi was so out of it maybe that he could just kill that for free without using 100 energy, but that's a bit irresponsible.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Now, with the mothership here, she does have enough energy for a Vortex, so we could have another engagement over here. He needs to spread these Broodlords. This could be bad.
Well, man, I mean, this Vortex, this is what it's all going to come down to. Can he get that off?
All right, he's going to try to come in here for a snipe.
He's got to be careful.
I would Vortex
that in 1 second, man. Just kill that right off. Anything that you can Vortex is great. Then you can just run away for a bit. So here we go. It looks like elfi pushing forward. And sLivko, if he wants to push this, he really needs to bring his spine crawlers down. This is a little bit too scary to... I mean, he doesn't really have anything underneath. He'd have to have perfect fungals over and over and over to actually defeat that army.
All right, he's moving out again on the creep. This is dangerous with the mothership because he can see exactly where everything is for the time being as he goes over the creep tumors. But he wants to get this base here. This could be bad, though, for the Protoss. Not the best location to engage. Zerg can come in here from the side.
That's right, especially with those spine crawlers there. But he is walking down the ramp now. Can elfi get the actual engagement that he wants? A nice fungal going down, but some of these getting picked off. And now we're going to see, does the Vortex come out? Not quite yet.
Well, losing a lot of Corruptors.
Yeah.
Did not take out the space. Now blinking forward, taking out Overseers.
Well, he's going to have to get some fungals down, and some fungals down they do go. Some really nice damage from these Broodlords, and a neural parasite. Beautifully done, sucking the army into that vortex, and now he's going to go ahead and kill the mothership as well. Oh.
And he does take it out. Now he needs to get into position here.
Oh, he's got to be careful. There's Archons in there.
Those Broodlords over that. The Broodlord's a little bit too close here, but it looks like with the fungals and the Broodlings, it's just going to be too much damage here. He's on the run. He's retreating. Next move for Zerg is to attack over here.
Well, we'll see if elfi can actually hold on. He's remaking his mothership. He still has a good amount of Archons and Colossi, as well as a pretty good amount of Stalkers. But the lead is definitely in sLivko's favor. But he has to either kill the 4th or take a 5th. And really, he should be doing both right now. He has enough money to do this.
All right, he's moving out now. Pushing elfi down a little bit further. He may go here. I guess he might even attack down towards the heart of the base, try to take on the tech structures. That's normally more common to do against Terrans with Broodlords. All right, here we go. Fungals thrown down here. Broodling spilling out.
That is a lot of Corruptors up there. Should try to use a few Corruptions. Look at this. Utilizing those, oh my God, the Changelings just blocking everything from walking forward. I love it. A blink in, and some Queens are now here for Transfusion. This is actually a crazy battle, but the Broodlord count is too high for right now, and elfi has to back up.
All right, the Broodlords are closing in. We got a lot of Queens here to transfuse. He's going to repair his army and close in here, and I do not think he's going to have the adequate amount of units here to hold this off. Even if the mothership comes out, I mean, is he going to be able to get a vortex off in time? I don't know.
Well, he has to work up that energy first, so I think you're right, Tasis. This is just, he's fighting against the clock, and there's not much time left in it.
All right, closing in here. He's going to carve open an entrance into the Protoss' base, throwing down a few infested Terrans, anything to do some extra damage. Corruptors surveying the area, trying to get ready to kit Colossus over here that's going to pop out of that Robo Bay. And look, how many Broodlords is this? What is it, 18? Jesus, man.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. All right, he's going to go for the kill here. All these Corruptors have to do is kill off that mothership, and they do. Goodbye.
And
GG.
that is just too much. elfi loses that game, and now it's tied up. sLivko versus elfi 1-1. Both these guys have to win here.
You know, I get it. I get elfi's style. He wants to get those that mothership out. He wants to take it to a specific. It's actually a time even to the end game. He can do whatever he wants. He can basically play single player until the mothership comes out. Then he just plays a position game, moving around the map until eventually he sees the Broodlords or a big chunk of the army all together, sucks it in. Unfortunately, his mothership control is actually not that impeccable.
Yeah, absolutely, Tasis. Well,
I mean, troublesome.
We'll see. I'm not sure exactly who's going to end up taking it, but we're going to throw it back to Day 9 and Kalaris.
Amazingly, we're back. We're going to be casting game number 3. I'm Day 9.
And I'm Kalaris, and we are going to be loading up onto Metropolis for the last game here in this PVZ. Now, Metropolis has produced some interesting games during this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, Metropolis is honestly the map that's big to the point where it's hard to attack anymore. And the most important aspects for the Protoss player is the Warp Prism. You can get to the point where you have 5 bases, 20 gateways, and as long as you have enough free food, you can just obliterate whatever's the weakest point with those Warp Prism harasses.
Yeah, and I mean, for elfi in PvZ thus far has been just going for like straight up engagements off the back of Phoenix play. So not really too much like real stretching of an opponent, multi-pronged attacks, going for the late game to then start Warp Prism harassment. He normally just says, I'm just going to macro up and just like move across and hope that that is going to be enough in order to be able to actually break that.
And he keeps getting his mothership nabbed by infestors. That's the thing that just hurts so much to watch. Because, I mean, he's getting the right composition. He's doing the right transitions up to the Archon mixture. He has not too many Colossus. But when he moves his army, he's just like one there. And he clicks, and the mothership just kind of slowly floats after and always gets nabbed. So it's kind of it's an issue that I think that elfi, he joked about it in the interview, but he seriously nearly lost that last, seriously lost the last games. Yeah. He didn't nearly lose it. He lost it literally
And as you can see, Grubby talking to a few fans here. But I mean, coming back to the game here, especially you know, elfi, there's in PvZ, there's a little bit of tension when actually controlling a mothership going into the engagements against Zerg. When you eventually say, hey, I want to put the vortex in this location, the mothership actually has to deaccelerate to be able to go for that. And there's this like split second like a little timing.
You can notice that the mothership is slowing down to be able to do that vortex.
But not only that, and Fungals and Neural, well, especially Neural Parasite if it actually does go off, but Fungals really shut it down. It messes with the AI a little bit to make sure that if it's not in range, it's still slowing down, but actually, I mean, it's obviously pinned in place, but then it doesn't continue to kind of eke forward after the Fungal's actually gone down to be able to continue with that vortex.
So sLivko is honestly... I think probably the favorite for this match, especially given elfi's history with mother-shipping. But do note that there were multiple times in that match where sLivko nearly lost because he wasn't covering his bases with Warp Prism. That is the big threat. sLivko, I do think, is creative enough to go for the Nidus Worm, but in tense situations, he just relies way, way more on the defensive side.
Well, we are going to see here on Metropolis how elfi is going to be able to deal with this. But ladies and gentlemen, spawning up to the northern position here as our Red Zerg, 1-1 in this series. Give it up for Rockskiss sLivko.
And in the left position, spawning as the blue Protoss, it is going to be Rog elfi.
So again, Metropolis, one of those maps that you very rarely see short games on it, but again, there's always that potential to go for that two-base play in elfi's shoes here, and there's always a little bit of temptation because of the way in which the architecture is orchestrated around the natural there. So, and we saw Feast having very, very good levels of success with that kind of play on this map yesterday with the initial use of sentries to be able to throw down those force fields very nicely against the big, heavy roach play of his Zerg opponents, and then falling back to the stable of Blink once those force fields actually dissipate.
But the sick thing was seeing Nesty go for the burrow play against Feast. And just pop out directly underneath and just kill it all off. Oh, God, it was such a beauty to see. Right now, elfi getting the chance to see that. Indeed, Pool first coming up will do the patrol square, so his pro will be doing the best blocking that he can. And actually, I don't know how to patrol in a way that makes it go one direction. I never understood how players did that.
Really?
I always keep telling myself, oh, I have to figure that out, and I never remember to look it up.
You just, like, rally it back to the first point, and then it's circling around. Actually, fully enough, at Copenhagen Games 2012, Fuser and elfi actually stopped me mid-cast, basically, and said, we need to check what's going on there. And they didn't know either. So elfi actually learned that from me now that I think about it. Thanks, elfi. Good job. Yeah. So for now, he's just establishing that wall off, throwing that forge down here to be able to get that Nexus first, well secure on Metropolis. And from here, wealth of options for elfi. Can still go for that two-base play or ramp it up and go for that big, big macro game. And again, if he does go for that big macro game, it's so important as a Protoss to start exploiting the immobility of your opponent's Broodlord Infestor army, going for drops on multiple fronts, i.e. the 5th and the 1st.
So now elfi needs to be starting to check. Yep, there's that one drone. elfi has a good hint as to what's going on, but he doesn't know for certain. He'll probably just do a loop back around just to double check that that expansion's up. Still a huge gaping entrance, so he needs to close that off pretty quickly, but per usual, we see the double gas. In terms of the mid game, I'm actually not as much a fan of the Colossus play on this map. I think that the mobility that a more Blink Stalker heavy army grants you is going to help you step into that more aggressive mid and late game. The only reason I would like a Colossus play is if you wanted to go super passive, not attack, and set yourself up nicely for that Warp Prism harass. I mean, going for the Colossus has the Robo Bay down, so you can get the Gravitic Drive upgrade, so on and so forth.
And there's a lot of architecture in the middle of Metropolis to be able to exploit against Colossus play as well. Corruptors hang around over these, ravines, over these cliffs, to be able to just pick away at them, and it makes it a little bit more difficult for your Stalkers to be able to blink under there, really start focusing them down so that they can be negated in their damage.
Double Chrono Boost on the Cybernetics core and the +1. Not very common that you see a double chrono boost there. What is his energy saved up like? Well, that's a little bit weird because now he won't be able to both get the +1 and the warp gate up at the same time. +1 and warp gate actually finish, or actually have the exact same build time length. So yeah. Ooh, there's another chrono boost going down on that warp gate. I actually think that we're probably going to see a 4 warp gate aggression out of elfi on this game.
And that can work very, very well as long as you know, he clears out watchtowers in order to be able to keep that going. Now there you go, there's the 3 extra gateways being laid down here by elfi. Does shoo away those Zerglings in the middle of the map here with that initial Stalker. And actually, sLivko, though, doing a pretty good job of getting that creep spread going. And there we go, the very, very standard roach timing here for sLivko.
But elfi's getting really close to being able to get that warp gate done. He hasn't yet built the pylon. He kind of needs to hurry up and start that ASAP. Great hiding job on that one probe that's at the back. And here comes the pylon. Just brilliantly timed. sLivko sees it, but it doesn't matter. It's the timing that's so good on it. sLivko's going to do his best to try to work these Zerglings around, but for however much he wants to pressure with that, he's going to have to deal with a lot of Zealots being warped in his main.
Oh, and look what he's going for off the back of this, a Dark Shrine to be able to keep the pressure
so sexy.
As he will be able to start a second pylon here. And so he's going to have so much ability to be able to warp in at this location. He just wants to continue the aggression, keep his opponent on the back foot once again, until that point where he can have these pylons alive, warping in DTs from there. And, I mean, yes, the evolution chamber's down and the layer's going to be done in just a bit, but the 18 seconds between an Overseer morphing in and it not being done is that magic window for those DTs to do some massive damage.
elfi taking huge hits from this Roach Force, just ate some major damage right there. +2 getting started. elfi actually didn't even start this third Geyser. A little bit of a misstep because now he's running out of transitions for that mid and late game. sLivko still yet doesn't have Zergling speed. Would love to have had that so we can continue to barrel down the front.
And look at this, he's just warping in these 2 Zealots to constantly delay these pylons from being killed off by these 3 Roaches because he knows how close the Dark Shrine is to being finished. He wants to warp those in as close as possible. Even another pylon going down over to the left-hand side here for elfi to be able to really, really ramp up the aggression.
Here it is. Dark Shrine done. 3 DTs get morphed in. Where's the target fire? It looks like sLivko knows that something's going a little bit wrong. And he's splitting them up. He's going into the main and the natural. He's going to go on a drone killing adventure.
And his one Overseer was over the other side of the map, actually throwing down a changeling to be able to spot what was going on, but he's now having to morph in another. How many workers has he killed on here? Only 6 right now, but still with those Overseers morphing in, he's going to get even more, up to 10 and 11, 12, 13.
Excellent damage being dealt by elfi. Per usual, elfi uses every trick in the book. He's going to just keep that 1 DT hidden anywhere that he can in the main base. elfi, though, has no infrastructure back in his main. He's actually forced to go 7-gate. This is a defensive play just due to the fact that sLivko is looking way, way better at this moment.
He got 21 workers in total. I thought the aggression was going to be shut down when he got around the 50 mark, but no, still able to eke out a few more kills there. Nicely done, but look, I mean, during all of that, he was still droning. He was just, well, you know, I know that this is your aggression. I can just keep droning during this and then shut it down with the Overseer. So really, really nice play there by sLivko, not really overstating any kind of response to those DTs. And now he has the Infestation Pit on the way and plenty more drones to be able to bolster him here.
There is the macro hatch up, 67 drones, but now Lings are in production. elfi has not gotten Blink. He does have +2, but he doesn't actually have that much. He's getting the Archon. He needs some Zealots to get warped in to be able to deal with that large Ling swell that we're going to see soon. 6 Roaches, 22 Zerglings. Wait, where did the unit count for sLivko go? There's actually a very small amount of units for sLivko. elfi is just going to push once again on 2 base.
I mean, is he going to warp in more DTs to add to the Archon count? Because if he does, and then he finds out suddenly that his opponent is just on predominantly Zergling right now, that's going to be able to tank quite a bit of damage and do a lot of damage as well.
I would like to see at least maybe 1 more Archon, but the most important thing are going to be the Zealots. If he morphs in those Zealots, he can continue to produce out of this ridiculous gateway count that he's built up in his main base. I mean, he has 8 gateways, churning units out right now, and indeed, wow, it looks like he is going just straight Zealot Archon. Zealots, DTs being morphed in. It looks like he's going to try to do a run-in the main, and it'll work.
Oh, he's going to be able to do quite a bit of damage here. The force fields go down, not really splitting off too much of this army, though. Zerglings get nice coverage at this third, but they will have to fall back for now as those Archons and the Stalkers still doing too much damage there.
Oh, sLivko just in a world of pain, has a ton of roaches, but in the main base, we see that a Dark Templar very nicely planted will be able to maybe take down the infested Terrans. It can actually do anything it wants. Right now, elfi is the one who is in total control, but realizing, I think, a little late that he didn't have Blink, chrono boosting that out as fast as he can.
Yeah, so Stalker heavy here. He needs that just in case as well those Zerglings get good coverage once again. He doesn't have too many Zealots in this composition here, so that is very, very important to be able to go up against this composition. And again, even against the Roaches, just blinking back, so nice to be able to negate the deaths of those Stalkers.
This DT in the main has been doing so much damage. elfi has been adamant about making sure it's in good shape. Oh, a giganto-fungal sLivko, nailing those fungal growths. Oh my God, those were amazing.
And Blink, is now done here. He will be able to try and actually constantly focus down some of these Overlords. Not going to be able to get any though there, as he doesn't want to overextend too far into this third base.
Another DT, elfi starting to realize, well, wait a minute, I've killed 33 workers. That's actually my edge in this game. 55 workers for a sLivko to the 53 for elfi, and that other DT's now heading up into the main. elfi's actually not going to stop. He's just going to dedicate to this two-base play.
Yeah, and with the production that sLivko has here, I mean, can elfi really break this? He might try and hit that critical mass of Stalkers, but with the Infestors out, can you even make that work?
He blinked forward, the most dangerous move that you could do. Now he's getting fungal growth, and sLivko realizing, oh, thank you so much for that blink forward, elfi, giving me all the free damage that I need to get the edge back in this game. With 45 drones, 44, oh no, 15 kills, 16 kills. Suddenly, sLivko down to just 40 drones. And elfi in a miracle play, a single DT. I mean, oh my God, 50 workers killed this game, and sLivko is still winning.
I think this DT play has been really, really impressive, but again, sLivko's just, all the while, during all of this DT pressure, he's been droning constantly throughout it all. So he's just had so many replacement drones. He's almost made 100 drones in this game, as well as had this army up. So much lava dedicated to that drone production. They have so many Infestors as well, 6 here, with a little bit of energy on each of them to constantly shut down this blink aggression. And elfi, for now, he has to kind of retreat back and try and get going on this third base.
Oh, these DTs still managing to find targets. elfi doing a great job. Could even pick off this roach, but instead is just going to hide down here at the south end.
And for now, elfi just controlling the middle of the map here. I wouldn't even say controlling. I mean, if sLivko actually wanted to move out, he could, but it's going to get to the point here where elfi's income is just not good enough to be able to deal with this 3 base. But actually, I mean, he's still not mining from the main.
Look at this little tactic. He's going to try to use this DT to help him blink up onto the high ground.
That's so cool.
Oh, what a play. What a badass. He's going to instantly snipe off any Overseer that he can. Target fire this layer. What a play. And now just picking off units at that natural expansion. Can he actually sneak down? Oh, smart blink backfires. DT gets taken down, but amazingly, elfi does not quite have the Stalkers that he needs to be able to stay alive.
No, unit counting station right now, 8 Stalkers and 4 Sentries and 2 Zealots to 38 Roaches and 7 Infestors. sLivko has a slight advantage here. Is he going to press it is the question, though, as again, Metropolis can put you in a bit of a weird mindset from time to time.
This is so weird. Only 33 drones out right now. 4 Queens. I mean, sLivko must win with this attack, but honestly, his army is just staggering. 7 Infestors, 46 Roaches, 37 Zerglings. sLivko, defend, 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 attack once for the win. I actually don't think that elfi is going to have enough.
And sLivko's games are looking more and more commonly like this as the tournament goes on. He did this against Moonglade as well during Daybreak, but regardless, he's going to push in here. There's just not enough here for elfi to really deal with it. Good force fields to try and zone those guys. But look at how many infested Terrans he has with these Roaches just powering forward to be able to kill off this third base here. And with that, elfi's going to try and sit back on these 2 base.
But another Dark Templar getting in there.
God.
What? 67 drone kill elfi. Beast mode, 25 drones. I think sLivko's feeling the pressure now. sLivko's realizing, I gotta win now. I have to win now. I just can't hope to recoup in this spot.
It almost looks like he's just going for some kind of constricting style and just going to come back in and deny the third base once again. But I still think he could actually power down the front here. But he always has to be kind of careful as to how much he has. He doesn't know what we know here, so it's very, very hard for sLivko right now to really get a read on exactly what's happening.
Well, at this point in time, a single DT from elfi. If at first it succeeds and it continues to succeed, let's just...
And there's another one moving out
now, yeah.
Oh my god, just these DTs killing off 69 workers in total right now. sLivko just poising himself for some kind of attack. He's almost maxed out, again, on 35 drones. And elfi's slowly being let back in.
This is the silliest looking army tab I've ever seen. But the fact is, sLivko has so much stuff that sLivko has to keep it on 2-base Protoss. If elfi gets third base, that's it. sLivko cannot hope to step forward.
Yeah, I mean, elfi does have quite a bit of firepower here. He has the +2 weapons against the +1 of sLivko right now. And he's going to have Storm in just a little bit as well. So how many high Templars does he have? Just the one for now, stockpiling a little bit of gas here. And this is just, again, such a strange situation. Metropolis really does put you in a position where you can never really know without a direct throw of an Overlord in there. And how many worker kills is he getting once again?
Getting more and more and more. sLivko, I actually think, is just losing focus. These games that he's been playing against elfi have been so long. I mean, he's now at 79 worker kills. I mean, Zerg just cannot. Zerg's had less workers than Protoss all game long, but the fact is this top right has always been saturated thanks to this Overseer Spine combo. I mean, this is the tough angle to try to break.
With the passiveness down to the south of the map, it's almost as if this is one of those custom maps where, you know, you have that one hero unit. Here in this case, it's the Dark Templar for elfi, and he's just microing it around, hoping to get as much as he can do done. It's just, elfi is... He's almost mined out, and it is natural. He has no more. He has nothing. He needs to make something happen.
Ooh. Looks like he might be able to get a Storm off. Or he gets a... he flubs a little bit and accidentally clicks on the Oversteer instead of one of the full energy infestors.
I think maybe if he was actually able to get the Overseers, then he could warp in some DTs to be annoying. But again, he has not much here. Throws down a Storm, quite a nice one. But there's just so much here for sLivko right now. Tries to blink forwards as well. Nice Guardian Shields to be able to soak up some damage. But look how many infested Terrans. And Roach is ripping him up.
And good game. sLivko takes the win. That is a tough win for sLivko to have pulled off.
I kind of felt physically uncomfortable, with the position that elfi was in. There was just that tension of that army looming outside of his base. And yeah, he got so many worker kills with those DTs. But commiserations to elfi there.
Well, that means that in first and second place in the group are Bomber and sLivko, and in third place is elfi, or as I was going to call him, Elfer. Bommy and Elfer.
That's a pretty nice little mix-up there, but regardless, these guys sharing very nice words with one another. They're all so nice.
Oh, man.
sLivko, ever the character. He's a delightful chap. And, you know, nice win by him there. So does that mean sLivko advances on now as well?
That is correct. sLivko and elfi will be advancing.
Yep.
So far, the qualified players, it's half and half between Koreans and foreigners. It's Nerchio, 4GG, and Sorta from Group A, MVP Violet and Koss from Group B, and then Bomber, elfi, and sLivko from Group C. Coming up in Group D, not only will Tastosis be casting, but it's going to be Haswab's Vortex, Supernova, Killer, MC, and Real.
What a fantastic stacked lineup there in Group D. So you can see Vortex and Hasuobs here just getting prepared for the upcoming battles. And again, you know, Vortex, not that well known outside in other locations, but he is looking phenomenal right now. Just barely losing out in the TSL4 recently to Keen, who I actually pegged Vortex to be able to take that. Again, a little bit of soft spot for the guy. I would always like to see, you know, foreigners do pretty well going up against Koreans, but Koreans, they're just so dominant, man.
Yep. Can't disagree with that. And of course, with Supernova, MC, and Real all being in Group D, I still would pin that man Hasuobs as being pretty much my top pick for the group. him and MC.
Yeah.
A lot of faith in Hasuab's ability to prepare for and perform well in tournaments.
He's pretty darn strong. Was able to take out the previous champion in TSL 3, Thorzane, in the TSL 4. Which a lot of people were predicting, Thorzane, very, very powerful Terran, very, very, strong going up against Protoss. And Hasu, they've been good friends for a long time, just had his number in that series.
Well, we're going to be going up to Group D after this short interview up on the main stage with Jared, who has our winner, sLivko.
I'm with the winner and the man who's advancing to the playoff stage, Rock's Kiss sLivko. Is there anyone in particular that you would like to meet in the playoffs that you're very confident against?
I think I have problem with language. I don't understand good.
Who would you like to meet in the first round of the playoffs?
MC.
MC? MC? Okay. Yeah. That's ballsy, man. I like that. I like balls. And after you beat MC, are you going to win the whole thing?
If I beat, yeah, I have very good chance.
All right. I like that. Well, congratulations, man. Take it easy.